Hello, my lovely, and welcome to episode 34. I have to think about what episode we're on now. And I think last week I said episode 32 when I was speaking to Claire, and I meant episode 33. I've even started planning and thinking about what I might do to mark the first year anniversary, the first year birthday of the Prosperous Yogini Podcast. Isn't that exciting? It is episode 34, and today I'm going to be talking to you about communicating value. And this is actually going to have two parts. There's going to be one part that's going to be useful to you as a yoga teacher, thinking about when I'm thinking about investing in me or investing in my business, whether that be something like a training or a mentoring program, or even something physical like upgrading my website or bringing an online booking system. What's the value? How do I measure the value of that investment? So it's going to be a focus on us as yoga teachers. And then there's also going to be a focus on how we can use this communicating value to talk to our students, to talk to people who would be interested in coming into our yoga classes and our yoga offers. Because we're living, like, let's just be honest, there's nothing we can do about it. You can only treat the world as you find it. We're living in an age of information overload. Like, there is content everywhere you turn, and people have billions of bits of content thrown at them. And you know what that feels like, where you've got too much information, too much to digest. You will often choose to go, look, I'm overwhelmed, shut down, and I don't pay attention. Like, when those that are in my mentoring program, when I'm working them, when we're looking at the websites, I'm like, look, you do have to know that, you know, some people are only on your site 8 to 9 seconds. You've got that window to catch their attention. That's how short our attention spans, rightly or wrongly, have become as human beings. And I think the tide is turning a little bit in content, like in terms of we're seeing a renaissance of people writing blogs. Yes, we're seeing the rise of podcasts and just exploring other ways to share what we do to communicate our value as yoga teachers. Use my podcast, obviously, to communicate my value as a teacher, a trainer, and a mentor, other than relying just on social media. And also, like, it got crazy, hadn't it? Like, reels started off being like a 1-minute video, and then they had to be under 30 seconds, and then it was like the trending reels are 7 seconds long. And I'm not on TikTok, and I've actually drawn a red line. Like, you can't be on every single platform, and just personally for me, like, I've ruled TikTok out, just for various reasons. But like, I feel where I'm at, it's enough. And obviously TikTok is all this, very much this short video form, and there's nothing wrong with this short video form. Like, don't get me wrong, me and my little girl love watching Tucker, the American golden retriever, and his brother Todd. We love watching their reels. They are wonderful. But in a place where, in an era, in an age where it just seems really fast, short videos, you know, get your message across in this very short period of time. The concept of communicating our value, being able to explain very, very quickly, simply, efficiently what it is we are offering when we're saying, hey, come along to my yoga class. Hey, come and do this retreat. Hey, come and sign up to my training program. Hey, come and join my online membership, can really help us cut through the noise. Okay, so yes, I'm recording this podcast, and the doors to my mentoring program are still open. They are closing on Monday, the 6th of February. And I would really, of course, if you get to catch this podcast before the 6th of February and you're like, yes, Amy, I'm in, I would really love to work with you this time around. If you are listening to this past the 6th of February, or just this time around, it's not for you, don't panic. The doors will reopen. And I am, like I so often say, I am ready when you are. We are all ready to be ready. So this period that I've been in, where I've had this free launch event, which then has led to opening the doors to my mentoring program for a period of time, it has got me really focused on communicating the value. Like, I've run it down. I can tell you guys, I tell you guys all the time on social media, in my mailing list, on my podcast, like, what my podcasts, what my mentoring program's all about. Like, what's included in it? We have monthly coaching calls, monthly teaching clinics. There's a self-paced module that literally takes you through everything that you will need to create that profitable, sustainable, impactful yoga business. There's the program promise. I can repeat that to you. I can say I can help you create a yoga business that will energetically and economically serve you. My program promise. I can tell you everything that's included in the program. Because it's not just that. You get to hire me on your team. I'm in your pocket. You can WhatsApp me or send me a Voxer message if you have a question. And we have a community space. Wow, my mentoring program has a lot. There's a lot going on. And I can communicate that to you, what happens in the mentoring program. I can communicate to you the program promise. But what might be more valuable is I can communicate the value of your investment. So my mentoring program at the moment, price is going up, guys, just to warn you, but at the moment, because it's such an amazing offer, okay, at the moment it's £695 or 6 payments of £125. Or if you'd like to work with me a little bit closely and include monthly one-to-one calls via Zoom with that, it's £1,295 or 6 payments of £225. Okay, so there's the price, right? That's the exchange. How do I communicate the value? Okay, the value is that I will help you create that profitable, sustainable yoga business. Together, we will create a pathway of profit that completely honors you. Okay. Does that still help? Maybe yes, maybe no. Sometimes it helps to break it down a little bit more. Let's take that figure, £695. Okay, what could that translate into? Well, that could translate, you could get a return on your investment by setting up 7 classes where there's a profit of £100. And you may be like, well, that's never going to happen. Like, I've literally just come off an email where one of the ladies that I'm working with, we were looking at her classes, her class numbers, what she's charging, her room hire, and it's completely within this yoga teacher's ability to make £100 plus profit per class that she teaches. Not just that, she's in huge demand. She's teaching in a small space at the moment. She has waiting lists. She has people asking about coming to yoga. She also is trained in pre and postnatal yoga, and there's women around in her area that need access to her. And I'm like, well, these are the figures based on 12 people come to class, but realistically this hall could have 15 and it still be completely a good experience for everyone, a good safe experience for everyone. You could make more money, and it's not about making money off teaching yoga. It's about the energy exchange, and also there's this need for this teacher to teach because people are queuing up for her classes. Okay, this is available for you too. So before you completely dismiss that I'm going to out and teach a class and make £100 profit, that's impossible. I know it to be true because I've done that myself. I'm mentoring people who are doing that. This is completely possible. This is available to us all. So 7 classes, you work with me, we get this going on. 7 in-person classes of £100, and you've made the return in your investment, and the value is this is just going to carry on. So you will make your investment many times over. Let's just take it away from the weekly class model. You set up a one-to-one package, and we'll do this together and charge £700 for X amount of classes with you. There's the return on your investment right there. Or you create an online course, and one sale of your online course is £700. There's a return on your investment there. You set up an online membership with reoccurring payments. This is what's happened to somebody in my mentoring program. I've helped her set up an online wellbeing membership, and now in a certain month's time she'll make back her investment. So communicating the value is understanding the energy exchange, understanding that right now the price of my mentoring program is an absolute no-brainer. So I'm going to stop talking about it because you can tell I'm so passionate about it. And I know I've gone on a lot about it recently. The doors are open. It's an open cart period for me, right? But I am very, very passionate about it because the value it will bring to you is insane. will make your money back. Like it is a no-brainer when it comes to investment. So for those of you that, and this is worth looking at, I'm going to talk about other models as well. For those of you that like are looking at other things to invest in your business and you're thinking, I can't afford that, I'm not ready to afford that yet. Okay, well, you know, when are you going to be ready? When are you going to meet that financial point where you're going to be ready, or where you're going to meet that imaginary skill point where you're going to be ready? We can spend our life waiting for an imaginary point to happen before we take action, and the end result is we never take action. Or we could have taken action much sooner and seen and reap the rewards of the results of taking that action. So I'm going to say this one more time. If you're listening to my podcast before 9 p.m. Monday the 6th of February, and you're just sitting on the fence about whether you should come into my mentoring program, and you're not sure right now you can afford it, I'm just going to totally reassure you that we will make this investment back. Like this is going to happen. Not just that, we'll make it back. And then where does it end? There is no end game. It is just beyond that initial investment. You are set up for your pathway for profit. Let's take it away from my mentoring program and take it into something. I'm going to take a larger investment example of a training program. So if you're a yoga teacher, you would have been through your foundation teacher training course, but I know not everyone is qualified yet and maybe considering to be a yoga teacher. But foundation yoga teacher training, or actually for those of you who are yoga teachers and you're thinking of adding in some more hours into like an advanced training program, like a 200 to 300 hour training program, these are great examples of big investments. Like they average on price somewhere between £2,000 and £4,000, and that's just the price of the training. So foundation teacher training, that initial training course that you take to be qualified yoga teacher, and then those of you that are qualified yoga teachers, if you're going on to that, adding in more hours, you want to do that advanced yoga teacher training course, which again is somewhere between 200 and 300 hours. They are big investments, financial investments, big investments in terms of the energy, the vibration of money, somewhere between £2,000 and £4,000. But it doesn't just end there, because often there's travel involved. Often we might need to stay overnight somewhere. I love going on a training course, stay overnight, stay in a hotel, a little mini break. But there's more financial investment there. And also, we're just talking about the money, right? But there's also a big time investment. There's a big energetic investment. And I know as a trainer who offers foundation teacher training, like that investment of money and time feels a lot to people when people are considering signing up to my training course. Little plug here, I've got one coming off in March, and there's only 2 spaces left. Okay, my next foundation teacher training course starts in March 2023, 17th of March 2023. I'm good at my dates today. 2 spots left. If you'd like to come on in, you're welcome to that as well. It's just like an open door. Come on in, you are all welcome. I'm ready for you. But one of the things when I'm chatting to people about whether it's right for them to sign up to my training program is, yes, can I afford this right now? But actually it's often, do I have the capacity in terms of time? And what's been interesting, I said I wouldn't talk about my mentoring program, but of course this week I've been chatting to some yoga teachers about whether they should come into my mentoring program. And there's been a few people that absolutely, I know 100% I can help, but they've got some other things going on in their personal life. Like a lady was moving house, another lady was taking in Ukrainian refugee family, another lady was transitionary in terms of childcare. And I'm listening to this and I'm feeling this time pressure, this stress, and I've been really upfront with these people, like 100% I can help you, but actually maybe if you came in now, if you came into my mentoring program now, and the same would be true if I spoke to someone who's thinking of doing my training program and just doesn't have the capacity. If you came in now, the stress outweighs the value, outweighs the equation. So sometimes, by the way, the investment, the value might be great, but the energy of stress comes with it, and we never want to bring unnecessary stress into our lives, right? I say this all the time, stress yoga teachers a bad look. Although we are allowed to be stressed, we're human, right? I get stressed, don't worry. So when we are thinking about, let's go back to foundation teacher training or advanced teacher training. So if you're a teacher and you are considering offering, or you already do offer any form of training, I know what we do. We tell them all about our wonderful curriculum. We tell them all about how many hours, how detailed our manual is, how many workbooks they're going to get, how many hours you've trained and who you've trained with. Look, all of this matters. You go along to my sales page for my foundation teacher training course, and yes, there's information there about me. Yes, there's information there about my training course and what's included. Absolutely. Yes, there's a summary of the syllabus. Like, I actually have to put a summary of the syllabus on my sales page to tick the criteria for yoga alliance professionals that accredit the course. But actually, none of that is overly important when someone is making a decision, an emotional decision, because decisions are emotion-based, emotional decision to sign up to a training program. And this is where communicating the value comes in. So when someone signs up to your training program, what do they get? So when someone signs up to a foundation teacher training course, you are training them to be a yoga teacher, right? They're having all this wonderful experience being immersed within the practice and study of yoga. Lovely. But the outcome is they're a trained yoga teacher. They have a new profession. That's what you're offering them. They have a new profession, and they can go out into the world and use that to help people, to share the light that is yoga, and make money, to carve out a new career for themselves, if a full-time career for themselves if they want, or be it part-time. And I know what's quite interesting is a lot of people that sign up to my foundation teacher training course, whether they genuinely mean it or whether they don't fully want to say it, when they sign up, they're a little bit, I'm not sure I want to teach. I'm not sure I want to be, and I definitely don't want to be a full-time yoga teacher. And I think there's that little bit of our beautiful brain just protecting us, because if we say, yeah, 100% want to be a teacher, then there's that fear we might fail. But I'm pretty certain the majority of people that sign up to the process of a foundation teacher training course, which is a wonderful, immersive experience, transformational, 100%, hard work training to be a yoga teacher, right? It, you know, physically, mentally, emotionally, hard work, right? Those people who are signing up to that energy, to the time energy, to the money energy, deep down want to be a yoga teacher on some level. Okay, so when you're thinking about inviting people in, communicate that value. You know, I can't quite remember the first sentence on my, I should have had a look, here we go, on my foundation teacher training but a foundation teacher training page, sales page, but it is literally an invitation, like, in terms of sharing the transformation, experience the transformation that is training to be a yoga teacher, and share the light that is yoga with others. And then I think I do qualify it, where whether you're just planning a career change, you know, thinking of working part-time, or open to the possibility of letting this lead you somewhere, which is always my favorite thing. I think when we say, right, I'm going to do this, and this is going to be the outcome, we can put a bit of pressure on ourselves and create a bit of stress, create a bit of resistance, right? When we just say, I am opening the door to possibilities, I'm opening what's come my way. Like my mentoring program, yeah, I'm going to create a profitable, sustainable yoga business. Right now, I might not fully, when I sign up to work with Amy, I might not fully know what this is, but I'm going to open the possibility to being guided to that place that's right for me. And that's where the magic is, where we tap into that higher self, that intuition, the universe, whatever you want to say. So let's turn the attention to something maybe a little bit smaller. So we've got mentoring program training, and let's turn the attention to maybe like the format of a weekly class, for example. So communicating the value, because again, so often there's nothing wrong. People need to know the nitty gritty. I'll see, you know, people advertising their yoga class, saying, you know, where it is, what time it is, Vinyasa yoga, 6 o'clock Monday night, X Village Hall, right? Now look, this book here, like, people need to know that. But people actually at first need to know why they need to come to that class. What is the value to me of coming to that class? And sometimes it really helps to like strip it down. Yeah, we can talk about all the benefits of yoga. We can tell people how yoga can make a difference to their life. We could highlight people's suffering. Do you suffer from back pain? And we can offer them yoga as a way to reduce their back pain, better still, eliminate their back pain, live pain-free. Like if someone's in pain and you are able to offer them a pathway to live pain-free, they'll pay you hundreds of thousands of pounds. Like your value there, that is an infinite value, right? Sometimes it helps to break it down even further. And this is what I did actually with the lady who set up the online membership in my mentoring program, because she's charging £22 a month. And I'm like, that's £5.50 a week. That's the cost of coffee and cake. And when you're like, communicate that, well, for the cost of coffee and cake, you can come to yoga once a week. And this is the value. This is the benefits, like reduce pain, improve range of movement, improve strength, flexibility. I prefer elasticity, range of movement, but your students are going to understand strength and flexibility. Reducing anxiety, better sleep, overall better sense of well-being. Like people are like, oh, for £5.50 a week, I could forgo my coffee and cake and get all of this. Yes. You potentially going to help manage my back pain. Yes, I'm coming along. Like with my yin yoga membership, I'm like quite clear about my story as to why I practice yin yoga and how I was like getting into my late 30s and getting really stiff, but yin yoga's kept me surfing. Like my membership is £22 a month. But the person in their late 30s, early 40s, right? Do you want to stay flexible and keep your range of motion so you can keep doing that physical activity you like? Yeah, I want to keep surfing. I'll pay you anything, anything that will keep me in order. I totally love surfing and I don't want to lose my flexibility, so I can't pop up to my feet anymore. Do you see how we're communicating the value? The value comes in two ways, like the benefits. Yes, you can talk about people suffering. Look, that when we're selling, when we're marketing and selling, what is marketing, what is selling? Very, very quickly. Marketing's talking to people, right? Selling's inviting them into your offer. So I'm chatting to you right now, and then I'm like, come on in. Okay? That's marketing and that's selling, right? And when we're marketing and selling our offers, yes, we can tell people about their pain points. Do you suffer from this? Do you suffer from that? Is this you? Yes. See, I've got all of these things going on. Like, but and I think there is a place for that, right? But there's a lot of suffering in the world. Maybe we could take a slightly positive stance on all of this and be like, this is how I can help you. This is a value I can bring. And if you can't quite see it like this, look, for the cost of coffee and cake, why don't you give it a go? Like for the if you offer like a weekly class and you've got a block price and there's perhaps a more expensive, much more expensive, hint, hint, nudge, nudge, drop in price, then that drop in price is probably the price of a takeaway pizza. For the price of a takeaway pizza, come and give it a go. Because sometimes like you just have to give people a nudge through the door. Like they want to take action. You'll be the same about something. There'll be something that you keep thinking, I must do that, I must do that, I must do that. Procrastinate. I really want to do that. And then when somebody goes, come on, like it's just the cost of a takeaway pizza, go and give it a go. You're like, yeah, why am I not giving it a go? So this is the power of communicating value. Then it will also help you with your prices. I got a really lovely example on this one. I have a lady in my mentorship program who runs a retreat business, and they've been like day retreats up until we started working together, and we've just created a longer one. And pricing this longer retreat took us some time to come to a figure that this lady felt aligned with. And we'd done all the what are your costs, what are your outgoings, how many people can you get in, like what's the vibrational energy exchange for it to be worth your while. And when we came up with a figure, at first she was like, I can't charge that. And I'm like, okay, let's look at how much it costs to stay in a hotel, a nice hotel in Newquay for 3 nights at that time of year that you're running your retreat. And that was more expensive. Yet what they were getting on the retreat was accommodation, all their food, yoga, a massage treatment. They were getting a lovely setting with a nice group of people. I'm like, the value for that price versus the price of that Newquay hotel is amazing. And she was like, oh my God, yes. So in that moment, she understood the value that she was bringing when offering the retreat at that price. I was like, we should charge more. But then understanding the value that her retreat brought suddenly energized her when it came to advertising and filling that retreat. And that, whatever, there are so many examples I could use. I've talked about classes, I've talked about an online membership, I've talked about a retreat model, I've talked about training. I think this helps you to get behind the value that you bring. When you are stuck thinking, I can't charge that for my weekly class, right? You practice yoga. You know the value, you know the transformation that some yoga brings. Better still daily yoga, but like some yoga brings. And you offer that to your students. You offer it for them every week. So it's much better. You know, consistency is king, right? So it's much better that you encourage them in your payment structure to turn up every week, because the value of that is immense. That will change their lives a hell of a lot more than popping in when they can, right? So this all helps us when it comes to setting our prices as well. But not just setting our prices, getting right behind our prices, being going like, yes, oh my God, the value that this weekly yin class brings, the value that this weekly pregnancy class brings, the value that my online course brings. It doesn't matter what your offer is. It doesn't, see what I'm saying? The value of this workshop, the value of this retreat, the value of this training, this is life-changing. You know, I talk about the vibrational energy exchange a lot as a yoga teacher. You're going out to deliver an offer, whatever it is. I've just listed a load, right? And in exchange, we get the vibrational money back. No, it is not just that, is it? Absolutely. Like, we wouldn't be doing it if it was just about that, because yoga teachers aren't that type of people, right? We're doing it because we love to help people, that we love to see the transformation, the benefit that yoga brings. Nothing fills my heart with joy like more than after I've taught mum and baby yoga, or I've taught toddler yoga, and I pop downstairs and they are all sat, the mums and the babies and the toddlers are all sat in the cafe having a coffee and having a drink. Or the time when we were in lockdown in the UK and my pregnancy yoga class was online, and a lady emailed me and said, would you mind if I set up a WhatsApp group? And I said, fine, yeah, I'll send your number if you're happy around to all the ladies. They can choose to join the WhatsApp group. And they created a WhatsApp group off the back of this online pregnancy yoga class. And when restrictions lifted enough that they could meet each other and go for a walk, they went for group walks together. And I'm like, this fills my heart with joy. This is also an energy we get back, right? So it's not just a pure money exchange, but understanding the value that you bring to your students with your offer, whatever it is, right, really helps you to get behind that price, that you're like, this is an amazing price, right? And I talk about this aligned price. I know I've talked about it before. What is an aligned price, right? An aligned price is one where you go, yes, I'm happy to charge this. Like, this is a great offer, but I'm getting a great return on my investment financially. And your students are like, oh my gosh, this is an amazing price. Yes, sign me up. When's the next blog? How do I rebook? Sign me up. Put me on your waiting list, right? This is what you want to create, and this is available for you when we understand the value. So to conclude today, this communicating value, I want you to think of value in two places. Oh, actually, not to conclude, I just wanted to say one more thing. I've talked about offers like retreats, training programs, classes. I wanted to talk about like up leveling in terms of a physical product into your business. So let me give you an example of, let's say you've got a website, okay, and you're like, I am going to bring in an online booking system. This is something that we've been talking a lot in my mentoring program about. bring in an online booking system, and that's going to cost me, I use Bookwhen, it costs me $9.99 a month, and I use Stripe to take online payments, so very small transaction fee, but there is a transaction fee, right? And the initial barrier to this is, well, I'm not paying any more for a booking fee and transaction fee on my cards, and oh no, and I'm like, but the value that booking system brings is immense, because it takes out the friction for that person to book onto your classes, and it takes out the admin for you. This is transformational. This is life-changing in terms of you're no longer having to chase money, check your bank that payments have been made. You no longer got that person who was like, yes, I'm coming to class. Yes, I'm coming to class. Yeah, I'll pay on the night. Oh, yeah, I'll do a bank transfer on the day. Super sorry, can't make it tonight. Because when they're like, yes, I'm coming to class, I booked. That commitment's been made. So the value of that booking system, that physical thing that you're bringing into your business, is immense. So to conclude, while we're thinking about value, I want you to think of it in two ways. First of all, the value when you invest in something in your business, whether that be a training, whether that be a mentoring program, whether that's working with a coach one-to-one, whether it be something physical you're bringing into your business, like buying some new equipment, buying some new mats, leveling or upgrading your website, starting a website, bringing an online booking system, taking online payment, creating your online shop. These are all things that will require an investment from you, okay? And you just will look at the cold hard fact of that number. Bookwhen, $9.99 a month. Oh, do I need to pay for that? Right, there you go. But you step back from that and you think, I invest in this. I invest in this training program. I invest in this mentoring program. I invest in this online booking. It doesn't have to be Bookwhen. There's lots of them out there. I invest in this online booking system, and the value that will bring to me, the long-term value, the long-term outcome of this is immense, that it just will create a bigger pathway to profit. And when I called about this pathway to profit, it's not like an end game where you're like, oh, I've made it now. It's just a lovely meandering path that gently expanding. Then when you're thinking about your students and you're talking marketing to your students and you're inviting them to come along to class, you're selling to them. When you're inviting them to come into your retreat or your workshops, selling to them, that you're not just giving them the the details, the nitty-gritty, the when and where and how, right? They need that, right? They need to know what's going on, right? But the first thing you talk to them about is the value, the transformation that they can bring. And sometimes it's not a hard sell. Sometimes it's like, and I was like the other day to talk to someone, like, your dream student isn't a hard sell. But sometimes some people, particularly if they're new to yoga, or they haven't done a retreat before, they haven't been on a longer workshop before, they haven't done this type of yoga before, they haven't done yin yoga before, they may need that value communicating to them. They may need a little bit of educating, and sometimes it can really help. Look, the cost of a takeaway pizza, what have you got to lose? For the cost of coffee and cake, this could be the outcome of joining my online membership. Okay, so I really hope that helps you today. The value you bring to this world. I said this at the end of the coaching program, the coaching call for the Profitable Yoga Business Roadmap last week, that free training I did. If you came to that, I loved it, by the way. Thank you. If you're like, I missed it, there are other little things in the pipeline, so don't panic. But I said to the guys at the end, it might have been actually at the end of day 3, I was like, the value that you bring, your value is infinite, like it's not measurable. And maybe that's what gets hard about communicating our value and trying to translate that into a price. But remember, when you step back and think about what your classes do each week, and then you look at what you're charging and you're like, I probably need to charge more. And the reality is, my students probably want to pay more. Okay, that's an aligned price. All right, my darling. So I will see you next week. Have a good week and see you all soon.